Welcome back to Hot Type and our conversation with the spiritual doctor, Deepak Chopra. We're talking about his new book, Life After Death, and in it, Chopra argues that life and death are merely part of a continuum, which is why death is nothing to fear. But Chopra doesn't stop there. In his most controversial comments to date, he claims that organized religion in the West has exploited people's fear of death as a tool of power and of violence.
Religions are obsolete. They're divisive, quarrelsome, idiotic.
Religions are?
Yeah. I mean, look at all the havoc in the world. Who's doing it? It's the religious people, you know, and no religion is immune from it. You go to India and you see these Hindus massacring Muslims and torching them with fire. They're as violent as anybody else. They just happen to be vegetarians.
How then do we apply a moral map on the world where we value what's good?
An imposed moral map never works. The 10 Commandments will never work because they're imposed moral map based on judgment and based on punishment and based on all kinds of rules and regulations. You know, what's his name? H.G. Wells said, self-righteous morality is just jealousy with the halo. And anytime you see self-righteous morality, look deeply because you'll find hypocrisy over there. The only way morality and ethics can become a true experiences if at the level of being you see your inseparability with everything, divine and diabolical. So you become incapable of hurting or becoming or getting hurt.
And if it's also transient, why do we care so much if we act ethically and good in this world? If it's just transient and unreal, and we're gonna disappear into the happy pool, who cares how we act?
Because truth, goodness, beauty, harmony are evolutionary impulses. And whilst there are all these entropic impulses, the evolutionary impulse is always ahead because, it's the nature of evolution.
But why would we? But what's in it for us to be good if we accept the fact that the body and our state is an illusion? It's going to feed back into the conscious.
Because it feels joyful to align yourself with the evolutionary impulse of the universe.
But maybe it didn't feel joyful for Adolf Hitler. Maybe he felt joy, or maybe the psychopath who kills someone feels joy doing some horrific act. How do we judge it morally?
In the deeper reality, nothing human is foreign to me, as the Roman poet Terence once said. In the deeper reality, this is the diversity of experience that the universe creates through opposing energies. You can't have light without darkness. You can't have up without down. You can't have pleasure without pain.
How do we measure
you can't have hot
this
without
is the
cold.
Question.
Huh?
What about this notion of when we talk about life after death, and because death is the great
the dream continues. This is a dream. It continues.
The dream continues.
Yeah. If you're attached
is there
to the
no
dream.
punishment?
As long as you...
I guess my question is, if you live a good life, Deepak, and I live a lousy life, right? I'm a thief, a rapist, a terrible... And you're a great guy.
The crime
what happens after...
The crime itself is its punishment.
So I just have to live with it? That's the only punishment? Because it's been a big stick for religion to say, if you're bad, you're going to hell, or if you're bad, you'll be reincarnated at a lower level.
It's nice. Power, mongering, cronyism. What is religious, organized religion? Power, mongering, cronyism, influence peddling, corruption, and hypocrisy.
You're tough on organized religion, Deepak.
But it's all right. It's part of our infancy and adolescence as a species.
The burden of proof. You take it on. Do you know what your next... once you've done this one, Deepak, what's next?
I'm doing a book called The Third Jesus.
And what's the third Jesus?
Well, the first Jesus is the historical Jesus. You can find references in history, the Roman, historians. The second Jesus is the one hijacked by the Christians, and the Western Jesus brought to the West by Paul. And the third Jesus is, I think, very cosmic, much more elegant and magnificent.
You're becoming a troublemaker as you get older.
No, listen, in the big picture, it's all, we're all part of a bigger game.
But those Christian evangelists must not be embracing Deepak Chopra like they...
No, but I think I will make sure that whatever I say in this book is documented, whether it's about the apocryphal Gospels or the Gospel of Thomas, or the missing 16 years.
But are you making enemies these days? You've taken on George Bush. You're very open about your opposition to him. You're now taking on organized religion. I mean, for someone who's talking about...
I'm expressing... You know, what's that? Rumi has a poem. He says, I want to sing like birds sing, not worrying who listens or what they think. And in the autumn of my life, I think I can sing my song and not worry. I'm not taking on anybody. You know, I think that in the spirit of tolerance, we're all kind of, you know, we're probably all totally ignorant anyway, you know, because the mystery is too big.
Well, if you think Deepak Chopra was hard on organized religion, just wait until you hear what he says about modern-day science. That's coming up when we return.
I think fundamentalists in science are even more dangerous than fundamentalists in religion.
Hot type.